Hello, Laura. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I don't know if you remember me.
Hmm.
No.
Oh, dear. I'm
Uh, be-
sorry.
no, no. I know that you don't remember me because I know that you will surely have to talk to many people and many interviewers every day. But the day before the Burning Witches and Destruction show in Buenos Aires, in Argentina, last year, I was at the hotel interviewing Martin from Destruction.
Oh, you were downstairs with Martin in the hotel. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And
Uh-huh.
we took that photo in at the airport in Buenos Aires with all the burning witches
Yeah.
girls. I wanted to talk to you too, but I didn't want to bother you at that moment.
Oh.
So that's why today I have questions related to obviously you and the band and the new album. Yeah. For starting, I want to know how was the composition and recording process for this new album, The Dark Tower?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it was a bit like last time, so I don't think that much didn't really change. So, yeah, Romana is like a lot of musical ideas, and we had the idea, the Dark Tower. We wanted, everyone was in the mood to make something darker this time. So it definitely has a bit of this horror vibe sometimes. It's a bit darker. And the Dark Tower, it's kind of all written around the theme of the Blood Countess. So it is the first recorded serial killer in the world, and it was a rich lady that could just take any maid
Hmm.
that around the area that she wanted, and she just did this for fun. It was her hobby to torture them if they did something wrong and then kill them, basically.
Hmm.
Uh, there are some legends around it, and yeah, we just yeah, Urbana had a lot of ideas, so she sent me the ideas or full songs.
Hmm.
Most of the time they're like maybe a verse and a chorus and a bridge,
Hmm.
and then we just start working on it. So we just send back and forth the ideas, and then it starts to take shape. The rest of the whole song with everyone joining, and they go into the rehearsal room with each other also to give it the drums and the bass also, right? So it's kind of like the process goes a bit at the same time with all the instruments, but a lot of them get fully put down in the studio, right? So it's
Hmm.
always like the ideas are there, and then just the little small details can change in the studio. So,
And
but
the
that's
creative process is always in the same way. I mean, the same as for The Witch of the North, or was it approached differently?
it was actually, yeah, actually the same. Yeah.
And how long did it take to finish it?
Ooh, I'm not good in remembering time. I think we had like lots of fake IDs, lying around for a long time already. But the actual writing, where you put the work in,
Mm.
basically, I
Yeah.
think it was just a few months actually. But we did had like a lot of IDs lying around, so it's more like the IDs just keep coming, and you don't really do anything with it, and then all of a sudden you start working with it. So.
Cool. And do you have any favorite song of this album for any reason? A song that make you say, dude, this song is amazing.
Oh yeah, I think the song I probably like the most, or as one of the most, because it's hard to say which one I like the most, but Unleash the Beast is definitely one of the ones I like the most. And yeah, it's just extremely energetic, and I always like it when it's really energetic and it's catchy and melodious, and it's at the same time also pretty heavy and dark, so I really like that one. Yeah.
Cool. And either on this record or on the Burning Witches discography, is there a song that is very demanding for you vocally when playing in live?
Yeah, there are. I think, yeah, the Dark Tower is probably one of them
Mm.
because basically it's at the top of my lungs all the time and pretty raw and heavy. Um, so I think this is one of the songs that's more difficult just because it needs a lot of power. I wouldn't want to do it if I didn't sleep or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And besides music, something that I really like of this album is the cover. It's really cool. Um, So I want to know, what do the cover and the title of the record represent? The lyrics are connected with both things, like a concept album?
Yeah, the lyrics are definitely most of the time really obviously connected to the blood countess. So it's most of it is connected. So you have to search a bit, right? Because it's a story that's been written down, and not all the details are actually for sure. They're just stories, you know. People think that this or that happened. So I looked up all these stories of what supposedly happened, because some people even say, oh, she was kind of a Dracula, but a girl Dracula, or maybe she drank the blood to stay young, you know. But yeah, there's so many stories, but of course those are arguably not really true. But that she tortured her girls that were in service for her is like one of the well-known things. And then she tried to say, oh, they just died from an illness, and then she got like a priest to say some prayers, and then maybe the priest didn't like it, and then the priest got killed, you know. So stuff like that, I think those happened.
Cool. And speaking about the lyrics, I want to ask you, what things inspire you when composing? I mean, it's hard for you sometimes find the enough inspiration, or it's easy for you at this point?
Yeah, to be honest, it's for me always, I'm used to hearing the music first, and the music already kind of tells you what you can do with it, right? Yeah, basically I just listen. This is the first step for me. I just listen. But I did write, okay, maybe the first step is that we decided on this theme, and I just wrote down a lot of things that came to mind, like maybe the castle is haunted because of all the girls that died, right? So there's one of the songs, it has the haunted castle thing going on. And I just try to think of what would be cool to write a song about, and it should be heavy, but maybe melancholic, dark, you know, energetic. So I try to already think of song titles and cool subjects, and then when I hear the song, I usually can pick one of those things that I had in mind. I can pick one of those most of the time, and then start writing around that. Yeah.
Cool. I have the photo at the airport here, right here. I don't know if you can see with all the girls. I want to say that that whole week was really incredible for me, because it ended up being the first time I traveled by plane to another country, and I did it with you, the Born and Which girls, and with Destruction. I mean, after the show in Buenos Aires, we traveled together in the same plane, you know, to the Mexico Metal Fest. The thing is, while we were all waiting for the bands to pick us up and take us to the festival, I was there with you, and I saw how you were already preparing for the show while we were waiting at the airport in Monterrey, which in my opinion, it's very professional, because people don't know that sometimes you arrive right at the last minute, you know, and you have to go quickly while you are.
It was extremely yeah.
Yes.
I never had to do it like this before also. It was crazy, but we did it.
Yeah, I can imagine. And there are even times when you can even go to the hotel to rest, you know. You have to go directly to the show, and people don't see that. They should see that the band show up, played, and left.
We just show up, we just wake up like this, and then
yes. And but backstage there's a lot of things happening. After seeing that with my own eyes, I want to ask you, how do you manage to be, or try to be, 100% in every show you give? Because it must be hard to go play after sleeping on a plane and not in a bed, you know?
Yeah, sometimes that happens. I think this is one of the shows that it was just pure adrenaline, because it was a big crowd, so it kind of woke me up enough to to do it, right? So it helps. Yeah, the show, it does give you adrenaline. So yeah, preferably actual good sleep. But if not, the adrenaline will be okay. Yeah, it's but true. I mean, sleep is for a singer especially, right? Because your voice needs to recover. It's your instrument, so
yes.
Yeah, you try to take care of it, and yeah, sleep.
Yeah, totally. You don't smoke, no? You don't
No, I
smoke,
don't. Yeah.
and don't
But
drink
I'm
alcohol.
actually, well, I drink, but not that much. Yeah, I'm not, usually I take it easy. But I have to say, Mexico Metal Fest, after that we had a day off. So I definitely drank a lot at Mexico Metal Fest.
It's good.
Because,
it's good.
Yeah, because if you know you don't have a show the next day, it's okay. But I am a careful person. Yes.
Yeah, speaking about that, how do you take care of your voice? Because I know of several singers who lost their voices, you know, like Tobias Forge from Ghost at the last Hellfest. In the middle of the stage, he broke up his voice.
Shit,
And yeah, and I guess that kind of situations really sucks. Do you do any
yeah.
kind of warm-up or exercise before recording or going on stage?
Yeah, well, yes, I usually, I can, maybe I have it here. I think I can show you. So I use this a lot, like the Lux Fox tube. Probably,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
most singers probably heard of it. And it's, you can, I will just show it. So basically you do woo through the tube.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and I know that technique is really good.
Yeah, and it really, it kind of massages your voice, so, and it warms it up, and I like it because I don't have to make that much noise, to start with. Yeah,
Yes.
but I do also like to make some noise at some point. So I first take it easy, I warm up with this, and then I start to make some louder noises, because ideally you already want to be, in the point where you can make this crazy wall of sound with your voice, right? If you do the first song. So I do like to do it if I have time and if I'm not bothering other people too much. Because sometimes I feel, it's so much noise, I am a singer and bleh, I just bother everyone, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, but I do like to warm up, and especially also your body is nice to also warm up a bit. It's better if if you're literally warmed up a bit like you would do in the gym, then you can give the amount of energy way more easily than if you would literally just have gotten up from the couch. I mean, yeah, those things mostly. Yeah.
Cool. Now I have like two questions in one. That is, how did you start in metal music? And how did your musical career develop until you joined Born in Witches? I mean, did they already have you in mind when looking for a new vocalist, or did you have to audition?
Yeah, so when I started to be interested in music, I got mostly interested in stuff with guitars and melancholic and dark music. So you kind of end up listening to metal, right? Because pop music most of the time is pretty happy and doesn't really have guitars that much. So
Yes.
so I ended up in metal because of that, because I like guitars. I actually tried to be a guitarist, but I sucked, so I ended up being a vocalist. I mean, I think when I started out, I probably also sucked at vocals, but I don't know, I got better at vocals. So yeah, so that's it. And yeah, I started listening to different kinds of metal, of course, and I also wanted to try out all these kind of vocals, because it's actually really cool that in metal you have so many different techniques, right? So it's also a lot of fun for me to try out all these different things. So I'm also really happy to be in Burning Witches, because I can do so many crazy things with my voice, right? So that's fun. And they were looking for someone, of course, that could do these things, and not everyone can do it, but they found me via another band member that knew me. She said, hey, she has some stuff on the internet, you can listen to it. And I covered Touch of Evil from Judas Priest also. I did a cover, and they also saw that one, and they had the feeling that I would already fit in the band, that they didn't have to ask me to do things I wouldn't normally do. So this is why they really asked me to audition, indeed. But when I did the audition, it was still an audition. I was super nervous, it was an audition, but they were pretty sure that I could be the singer. So that was a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, totally. I think that you are the best voice that Born in Witches could have. Yes.
Oh, thank you.
At some point in your career, have you had a bad experience for the simple fact on being a woman? Because I have interviewed many women already, and they have something to say about this. I know that many times women are underestimated, or more is demanded of them when it comes to making this style of music. Fernanda Lira from Crypta told me that more than once she was prohibited from entering her own dressing room. She wanted to, she wanted to enter, and the security guy told her, this is for the band. And Fernanda says, I am the band. And the security guy answered, No, this is for the band, not for who is with the band. He think that she was a groupie or something like that. And that kind of situations, can imagine that it really sucks, you know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it happened to me one time. It was, I think, just a communication problem with the people working for the festival. They didn't knew, I think, that we were indeed in a band there, and it was really stupid because I didn't have dinner yet, and dinner was even backstage. So I was like, okay, but I really need to have at least dinner. So we have to pick this. Yeah, I had it one time, but usually it's okay, actually. To be honest, there are, of course, in general, things that I notice as a woman that I sometimes, run into. I don't think they're, I kind of, it's stupid because the bad thing about this is I'm so used to these little things that I don't even remember the exact situations. So there are always little things, little things that generalizations about women that you run into, and if you Google it, you will just run into a list of things, that I of course sometimes noticed. But for me personally, for me personally, it's funny because I'm always this person. I'm kind of like, I want to be friends with everyone, and this is of course not possible. And as an artist also, you can't please everyone. Not everyone can be happy with a female voice, and this can even be just a choice, that like you don't like pop but you like metal, you don't like female voices, you like guy voices, right? But these things bother me, but that's because I just would like, ideally, for everyone to like me, but I know it's not possible. So to be honest, I think maybe this mindset already kind of saved me eventually from being bothered too much, because I know that not everyone can have the same opinion, you know what I mean? So it bothers me and it doesn't bother me at the same time. It's kind of like a weird thing. Yeah, I don't know. That's for me personally how it works anyway.
How was the video for the song The Dark Tower made? It really looks like a very big production. The shooting was in Germany?
Yeah. It was really in a beautiful city also. It's a beautiful city with a heavy past, Nuremberg. So it's beautiful because they have a lot of medieval houses around, and a crazy castle wall. It goes on for, it's endless. It's almost like the Chinese wall of Germany or something. It's really cool. There was also a church, but they made a museum of it, and it was also a building at the same. It was a bit of a weird building, kind of everything of something building. I don't know. And they had this dungeon-like place where we recorded the Dark Tower, so that was perfect for the story. And in the beginning of the shoot, you can also see a balcony of the building a bit. It was a versatile, special building, I guess. Normally a museum, and they have some other artists in there making their art. It was a special place. Yeah, it was cool.
Cool. And how long did it take the shooting? One day?
Yeah, 2 days actually, because we had some actors, so we did most of the shoots with the actors. We did it in 1 day, and the other shoot we did do it in 2 days like this. So the second day was just the band shoots. So it was one of the bigger productions we made. Like, The Witch of the North was also a bit bigger, right? But it was definitely cool with so many actors, and also to work together. Pardon. Burp. So also to work together with them was really cool, because last time we just had this band thing going on, and the actor things, they just did their own thing. But now we were also acting a little bit, so it was totally new, really fun. And it was definitely the most fun video clip experience I had, because I enjoyed it so much to do this. Yeah, it was really cool.
Cool. And how is working with Napalm Records, your new label? How do you feel working with this label?
Napalm Records, they're cool. I mean, they understand that you, as an old school band, that you want to sell the physical products, and sadly, Nuclear Blast was going away from that a bit. They wanted to go more digital, and I think, for a lot of bands, it's probably good. But for us, we love that old school thing, and we want to also to be able to have the merch for it. So for us it was good that the contract ended, kind of just in time, so we could switch to a label that could help us with that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. We are reaching to the end. I don't want to steal a lot of time. So I want to ask you, what are your future plans after this release? I imagine you will go on tour, but do you plan to return to Latin America?
Yes, yeah, we are. Let me check. Maybe I can also let me check one thingy. Okay. Yeah, so we're planning to go maybe back at the end of this year, hopefully maybe to Latin America. We'll see what happens. So this is definitely in the planning. So that's cool. And yeah, upcoming the release show is coming up, of course. And before that, we have one really cool show where we go from Miami. We go on this Monsters of Rock cruise. So really special.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to that. And yeah, a European tour is I think coming. Maybe also America again, but it's all in the works. It's hard to say what will happen exactly. We have some cool festivals already announced, and let's see.
Cool. How was your experience here in Latin America? Did you have the opportunity of taste some food or some drinks or something like that? Typical from here?
Yeah, I forgot the name. It was from Brazil. This usual drink that with the lime.
Caipirinha?
Yeah, of course, caipirinha. Yeah, that was nice.
Cool.
I really like caipirinha. I like that the food is a bit different. I think sometimes they had at breakfast. I think usually they also had some rice at breakfast, and that's something that you don't really see in Europe. So it was kind of special for me to see that you can just eat rice in the morning. I actually really liked it, so I took some.
Did you test the Fernet, a very typical drink from here and in some parts in Europe?
Which one? Sorry.
Fernet is the name.
Fernet?
It's an alcohol drink. It's very typical here. It's an Italian drink, but here in Argentina it's very typical. It's the most famous.
I missed it, I think. I did have those little cones, the cones with the dough and the rice and the meat, I think, like this, like a drop.
Yes.
Little balls, like little snacks. I had those. Those were nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And food here in Argentina, did you have the opportunity of taste some typical here, or was some food normal?
Well, you had flan. I believe I say that correct. Flan.
Yes, flan with dulce de leche.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's cool. I think we have. Yeah, I mean we have cheesecake, right? But it's not the same. This one was different. Yeah, it was slightly different. So it was really cool to try. I think this is probably the thing that everyone says. But we were in Argentina, and the backstage they even had a screen with football in the backstage.
Yeah.
And I mean, judging from the amount of enthusiasm for football and the way they also sang the football songs in the crowd.
Yeah.
For us, yeah, you did deserve the World Cup, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you in the show while Destruction was performing. You and the another girls was in the crowd with the people.
Oh yeah, we were having fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. Okay, my last question is, what advice would you give to a band that is just starting out in the industry? A tip for a new band or someone who is just starting to sing?
Yeah, well, find your own style and practice your trade. I guess you have to think. You have to stand out. I think it's one thing. You have to find your own thing and what you like, of course, enough to be crazy enough to do this, right? So it's a motivation thing, but also do what you're good at and do what you like. I think that's the most important thing always, because it's definitely when you start out, you have a long way to go, right? Until you get to the point where you actually reach what you ideally have in mind that you would reach, right? So you have to definitely really be crazy about what you're doing. So that's the most important. But the other thing is, get good at what you do and make sure that it stands out, because then you're able to do those cool things with it. Yeah.
And speaking about that, Would you like to collaborate with another artist, with another female singer? Like, I don't know. There now
It's
today
difficult. Yeah.
there is a lot of female singers, you know.
Yeah, and there's so many, right? Yeah, exactly. There's so many singers that are really cool. So for me, it's really hard to choose. But I still would love to do a duet with a really good male singer. And yeah, there are a lot of them too. I mean, a few. I'm just not going to name a couple because it's really hard to choose. I mean, of course, you have Rob Halford, Bruce Dickinson. Those would be crazy cool. But okay, yeah, okay. Those would be awesome, right? And but then you also have really awesome singers like Zahir Sorgati from Mirat. I love his voice. Yannis from Beast in Black, right? This Tommy from Camelot. Yeah, there's so many cool singers, you know, that I would love to do a duet with. It would just be cool. It's been like on my to-do list for such a long time. I want to do a really cool duet with a guy singer because you have the layers, the layers of the voices. I like that. So I really, that's on my to-do list. Before I die, I have to do that.
Perfect, Laura. That was all for today. I know that maybe it was a long interview. Sorry about that, but it was really nice talking with you. And when you come to Argentina again, I invite you a Fernet.
Oh, Fernet. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I missed that. I totally have to try it. Yeah.
Thanks a lot for your time, Laura, and I wish you a lot of success. I hope to see you soon here in Argentina again.
Yeah, it would be cool. Hey, thanks. And yeah, thanks for the interview. And also have good luck. Yeah.
Good luck. See you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.